Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's top stories, U.S. city volunteers are establishing a 6-month relief work program to help Hurricane Sandy victims rebuild their lives. In Taiwan's Hualien, we see how a mobile library that travels around the remote areas is giving underprivileged children a chance to read. And as children nowadays are overexposed to technologies, we learn of the ways to help youngsters remain focused. 4 months after Hurricane Sandy left a trail of destruction on the east coast of the United States, city volunteers continue to carry out relief work to help victims on the path of recovery. This time, volunteers returned to Staten Island, New York, to distribute cash cards to illegal immigrants.
On this rainy day in the United States, Tzu volunteers from the New York chapter are heading out to Staten Island to hold another cash card distribution for Hurricane Sandy survivors. Some recipients on today's list are illegal immigrants from Russia, while most are from Mexico or other Latin American countries. The Tzu song, Love and Care for All, moves recipients to tears as the devastation of Hurricane Sandy is still fresh in their mind.
FEMA wasn't able to help us because we don't have a social security number.
My house was destroyed and I have nothing left, but because of Tzu and others' help, I can restart my life again. I thank the heavens as I'm really happy. I really need this money. My happiness is because of Tzu's help.
Everyone forgot about us, but you remembered and came all this way to help us. We are able to rebuild our lives with you and God's help. Your arrival is our greatest blessing.
In continuing to care for those less fortunate, Tzu volunteers hope these residents living in the shadows of society are able to receive the help they need.
As a part of its ongoing assistance to help Hurricane Sandy victims, the Tzu New York chapter implemented a 6-month relief work program in which they first carried out home visitations and selected 100 families to take part in the program. Since the relief work program is the first ever to be established in the U.S., a 3-day training seminar was held for these local volunteers, thus marking a new milestone for Tzu in the nation.
Missions and our 8 footprints.
We actually do this program for you to familiar number one, who we are.
Listening attentively to the origins of Tzu and making notes on the procedures of Tzu's cash card distribution are community volunteers from Brooklyn, New York. After a 3-day training seminar, these are the first troop of local volunteers who will assist in the relief work program piloted by the Tzu New York chapter. Not only do these community volunteers learn about Tzu, but they also put what they have learned into practice by introducing Tzu and explaining the process of Tzu's cash cards to disaster victims through role play.
Let me tell you about my organization. I'm nervous with the camera. I'm usually not this nervous.
Thank you.
Oh, the bank.
Yeah,
the bank.
The blank?
Oh, the blank. I gotta tell you what it is. Oh, yeah. You can't take it. Stay here.
After a day's training, the community volunteers headed to the distribution site in Staten Island, where they will be coordinating the cash card distribution there.
The weather sucks, but I think the weather's not going to stop me from making somebody smile today.
Although we communicate all in English now, some of the volunteers are also bilingual, and this will be beneficial when we visit various communities. Most importantly, we can utilize this opportunity to get them to join our ranks.
To ensure information is properly conveyed to the disaster survivors, these community volunteers rehearsed repeatedly with Tzu volunteers. Despite some nervousness, come time to put their training to the test, they all delivered with excellence.
Great to learn the silence.
I think it's great to see so many new faces participating. I think they all did a great job. After you do it once or twice, then you sort of get the hang of it. I was really glad to see some people open up more today after they had the experience of helping other people.
Just following me. Oh.
Following, I was trying. I was following next to me, and then my arms is too long, so I couldn't do this. Thank you. This is a brochure about the organization to tell you a little bit more about the Tushi Foundation, okay?
She started with a group of housewives, 30 housewives, and they took a bamboo stick. They cut the stick and made a bank out of it.
Now we're all family, and I'm keeping you nice and warm, Susan.
Thank you.
The founder.
Through practical hands-on learning and introducing Tzu Chi to others, these volunteers have become more familiar with Tzu Chi.
Love you. You guys got me. I'm here. I'm aboard. I'll see you tomorrow.
As they aspire to become the first local seats of Tzu Chi in New York.
Also, in the United States for the past 17 years, Phoenix Tzu Chi volunteers have been working with the United Food Bank to help those in greater need. And to thank the food bank staff for their help throughout the years, volunteers held a banquet to show their gratitude.
Today, Phoenix Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a banquet at the United Food Bank to express their gratitude to these hardworking staff members. Volunteers also seized the opportunity to introduce Tzu Chi's bamboo coin bank and eco-friendly blanket.
People here locally, they do a lot of job, but without people here, you, volunteer, staff from the food bank, we cannot do it.
We are brothers, sisters, ladies, gentlemen, we are just humbled to be a small part of what you do. You guys do the work. We're back here doing what we do, but without you, it wouldn't happen. So thank you. We appreciate it.
Over the past 17 years, Tzu Chi and the United Food Bank have been working together to help those in need. However, today is the first time that these staff have the chance to get to know Tzu Chi better.
I had never even heard of the organization before. I had no idea it was global, how much you did to help people here in America. I'm completely amazed by your organization, and hopefully I can help.
Thank you.
Adopting bamboo coin banks and signing up as Tzu Chi members, these staff at the United Food Bank are ready to spread their love to those in greater need.
In our series of feature reports on caring for children, we meet Gao Jinghui, the driver of a mobile library. The mobile library is a truck that is packed with books and goes around remote areas to provide youngsters with a chance to read. Gao says whether rain or shine, she's ready to deliver these books into the hands of Hualien's children.
Just like magic, as soon as Gao Jinghui presses a button, the two sides of the truck opens up like wings.
When she presses the button, the whole thing rises up. It is very cool, just like magic.
Inside this mobile library, there are at least 1,000 books that stand ready to fulfill the children's imaginations.
I like to read books, and when the mobile library is here, there are many books that I can read.
Since the mobile library only comes twice a semester, children are always happy to have the opportunity to walk into the world of books.
The mobile library helps these children in the remote areas to gain more confidence, because otherwise they lack information about the outside world. Luckily, now they have the chance to read more books that can broaden their perspective of the world.
Always surrounded by students is the driver of the mobile library, Gao Jinghui. Whenever she arrives at a school, she becomes the best storyteller.
The students treat me just like their own mother and always hug me and ask that if they can call me mom. I always say yes to them, so all of them are my children. When I first took on this job, I was a bit afraid because I was not familiar with all the places that I had to go to.
The job requires driving the mobile library to schools in 13 different townships in Hualien. Although difficult, Gao says when thinking of the children's faces, all the hardship seems worthwhile.
It is not a hard job to do because I'm always happy. I feel that I am getting younger and that it keeps me going.
Sharing the books with students or being their best listener is part of Gao Jinghui's job. However, after the children are in class, she becomes a doctor for these books.
Sometimes the books are ripped on their side, but after fixing them, they will look like brand new. These books are like people, they have lives too. Therefore, we need to take good care of them, so the children will have a chance to read these books.
After picking their books, whether it is under a big tree or along the hallway, the children are off to find a perfect spot to enjoy their books.
Reading can inspire children to use their imaginations. Some books are filled with moral values, which help students to look deeper into the meaning behind the stories.
In the past 2 years, the mobile library has driven more than 20,000 kilometers, and thanks to it, children from the Changchao Elementary School have gained more confidence in themselves and in their future.
Tzu Chi's work over the years in South Africa has deeply moved those from neighboring countries to join the volunteers' ranks. In Zimbabwe, which is situated right above South Africa, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhu Jingcai has been working with a group of local volunteers in carrying out home visitations each day. As Zhu accompanies his name, he also reminds them of Tzu Chi's etiquette and humanitarian spirit. One may wonder of the power of Tzu Chi to inspire different races and ethnicity from around the globe to devote themselves to the organization's works. For local volunteers in Zimbabwe, it is through singing that they pass on Tzu Chi's love to every person they meet. Tzu Chi volunteer Zhu Jingcai is always there to demonstrate the organization's humanitarian spirit.
Just that Mary, right? In Tzu Chi, because she's this one, yes, someone talk to her. We need the guidance. You don't want to give it the pressure. If someone lies down, yes, we talk like this. We not just okay. If someone already suffered, then special is top. You need the insane level.
To care for the impoverished, one must be able to empathize with others and at the same time show respect.
We supplement that is one. So when we Army TOEFL, we need a 90 degree. Army TOEFL, but this is not the Army TOEFL. No, we still hold. Army TOEFL. I need it. So we say Army TOEFL. Yes.
The prompt reminders from Zhu Jingcai is a great help for the local volunteers, as it gives them the encouragement and strength to go on. Each day, volunteers carry out home visitations from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. by foot. It is through singing to their care recipients that these volunteers incorporate Tzu Chi's love and care.
We can help when we are here. We can help. But the other one for long distance, then we need the plan. So why I need to say everybody? Because now we are the family. Anybody say, that's that Tzu Chi say.
To spread Tzu Chi's love far and wide, Zhu Jingcai always gives wholeheartedly in carrying out the Buddhist NGO's missions. He also provides video clips of Tzu Chi's ideals to help local volunteers better cultivate wisdom and blessings. Does your child lack concentration in class or fidget around and daydream? Sometimes when children exhibit these type of behaviors, it is not a fault of their own, but a product of their environment. Children nowadays are subject to overstimulation, and the barrage of images on TV, internet or mobile phones are all culprits to blame. In continuing our report on finding focus, we learn of the ways parents can assist their children to concentrate.
What looks like normal playtime activities inside an after-school facility is actually training from an occupational therapist. Here, children receive help to correct behavioral and learning problems.
With professional therapy sessions, we can observe the situation and see their reactions to it, and correct their behavior if need be. Also, the right amount of exercise can help blood circulation in the brain, so we will be playing a game later that helps with focusing.
The therapist uses different games to help build up the children's hand-eye coordination.
We are engaging them in teamwork to move the card around. This strengthens their back and waist and also helps to increase their patience level so they can sit for longer periods of time.
If problems with learning or focus is detected at an early age, correctional behavior can be started early. Parent Lin Shu Li, who is also a kindergarten teacher, knows full well the effects of problematic behavior in children.
Most parents work full-time, so if their children watch TV quietly without disturbing anyone, it is acceptable. However, once their child enters school, parents will realize that their children lack concentration and are easily distracted by things around them.
So if the blackboard stimulation is at 60%, then the computer will be 100%. However, if we are used to 100% of stimuli all the time, then when faced with 60%, we will naturally have a slower reaction time.
As times change, modern children are now subject to many external sounds and images, which result in the inability to sit still in class, causing fidgeting or lack of concentration. These are all the symptoms of the overstimulated world we live in now.
Most after-school programs teach at a faster pace, so when the students return to school, they won't pay attention as they already know the material, which affects their concentration in class.
External stimuli is not the only thing hindering our children's lack of concentration. Environmental pollution is also a factor.
Those children who suffer from allergies or eczema will often scratch their nose or clear their throat, causing habitual fidgeting. As well, long-term nose clogs will affect the amount of oxygen the brain receives, resulting in the reduced alertness.
It is hard to separate environmental factors from our daily life, but experts stress that having strong concentration is not something one is born with. It is a skill set that is developed. So with proper adjustments, concentration is something which one can train.
Spend less time away from light and sound stimuli such as TV and computers. Eat more vegetables and fruit, as those are rich in vitamins and minerals, which is useful for brainwave reactions.
In cutting down fried food, TV time, and internet usage, children can go outside to play and learn to redevelop their concentration abilities. In maintaining a balanced lifestyle, the ability to concentrate can grow with the age of the child.
In Taiwan, on the day of the Lantern Festival, local residents in Nehu district of Taipei attended a parade in which they bombard the earth cart with firecrackers as a part of the traditions. After the event, over 60 Tzu Chi volunteers arrived to clean up the garbage left behind and also promoted recycling ideals to parade goers.
In Taipei's Nehu district, as a part of the celebration of Lantern Festival, local residents held the annual parade of bombing to Digong with firecrackers to pray for good fortune in the year ahead. Following the excitement of the celebration, garbage and firecrackers covered the street. Therefore, over 60 Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to clean up.
Cleaning up the streets is like cleansing our heart. After we clean up the environment, our mind will be clean as well. We hope to make some contributions to our community and also invite local residents to join us so that our community will be more beautiful.
Seeing the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters helping clean up, local shop owners were grateful. Many passers-by also took photos with us as they all recognized the volunteers' contributions.
To promote the importance of environmental protection, volunteers in Songshan District also seized the opportunity to take to the streets to bring locals closer to Tzu Chi.
This is my first time joining a Tzu Chi event. I think it is good for community members to socialize together so that we can build up a closer relationship.
With short skits and riddles, Tzu Chi volunteers help residents broaden their knowledge of recycling in hopes that they too can practice recycling in their daily lives.
After the volunteers' introduction, now I know more about recycling and the categories of recyclables. Spreading blessings on the street is a lovely gesture. Our children also learn to cherish their blessings and be grateful.
With Tzu Chi volunteers by their side celebrating the Lantern Festival together, many local residents were inspired to join the ranks of Tzu Chi to better safeguard the environment.
Moving to Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang have been working hard to raise funds for the construction of a new dialysis center and an education center. After holding 20 fundraising activities in the beginning of January, volunteers organized another 2 events in which they invited musical artist Chen Su-xuan to perform for the crowd.
Here in a local shopping mall, Penang Tzu Chi volunteers are holding an event to raise funds for the construction of the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center and Education Center.
Wherever Tzu Chi needs me to sing, I will be there.
In addition to the magical performance of Chen Su-xuan, Dadu Xu Yanzhong, who holds a high honorary state title in Malaysia, was also inspired to donate the venue for Tzu Chi to use.
No matter how difficult you Tzu Chi volunteers do it all, you have done so much. How could we not respond in turn? It is only a venue, so it is not that much.
Volunteers also prepared a sign language performance, which moved many in the audience to donate.
In the short time that we are alive, we should do our best to help others.
If everyone could find a little goodness in their hearts and is willing to do a little on behalf of others, this world would be a beautiful place.
If I can do something to help anybody at all, you just feel happy from the inside.
Although the amount of money collected from the 2 events was not a lot, the amount of love cultivated in the hearts of all those participating was too vast to count.
We stay in Malaysia at the end of today's program and join Tzu Chins who recently came together to promote recycling concepts in schools as well as prepare vegetarian dishes in hopes of inspiring other young people to take on a meatless diet. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.